So why rainwater harvesting? Most of you would be aware of this rainwater harvesting and probably would be operating a simple system in your own house or in your residential locality. Some of our BIS offices have a very beautiful system of this rainwater harvesting. Bangalore office is developing a new one, a very elaborate and a very sophisticated one right now. So what is this rainwater harvesting? Rainwater harvesting is an option which has been adopted in many parts of the world where, due to increase in population, conventional water supply has failed to meet the requirements or the needs of the people. And secondly, the natural recharge to the groundwater has reduced due to shrinkage of open area due to urbanization. Groundwater levels have registered a marked decline, and unplanned disposal of waste has deteriorated the groundwater quality. In view of this gap between the demand and supply, there is an utmost need for adopting roof-water rainwater harvesting and augmenting water storage. So what is this rainwater harvesting? It is nothing but a collection and storage of rainwater that runs off from the catchment area like roofs, roads, pavements, etc. This harvested rainwater can be used to recharge the groundwater and augment existing water supply availability. This is a simple illustration of a rainwater harvesting where the water is collected from the rooftop, stored in an underground storage system and ultimately used for other purposes. So this standard IS 15797 on rooftop rainwater harvesting guidelines lays guidelines for rooftop rainwater harvesting. This standard is developed by the WRD3 sectional committee. The standard outlines the following ways of rainwater harvesting storage. One is the storage of water in storage tanks for direct use. And second is the recharge of harvested rainwater directly to the ground or to the aquifer. This is another illustration of this rooftop rainwater harvesting, where it shows the rooftop, the collection point, the gutters, the downpipe and the storage tank. The same elevation, you can see the plan elevation and the front elevation giving the various components of this rainwater harvesting scheme. So this standard prescribes certain general design features. Some of the features are the roof should be non-toxic, or the roof material should be non-toxic. No overhanging of trees near the roof, and nesting of birds on the roof should be prevented. All the gutter ends should be fitted with wire mesh to facilitate cleaning. Appropriate arrangement for discharge of the first flow of rainfall or the first flush. No possibility of contaminated water flowing into the tank. The inlet chamber should have a silt trap to prevent silt into travel to the subsoil water. We have made a small checklist for checking the compliance of IS 15797. As we have already seen, there are various clauses and the requirements. The first clause is 6.1, which is a design of system components, namely the roof. The various parameters that can be checked are the design of the rooftop as per the figures given in the standard. The roof should be smooth, made of non-toxic material, sufficiently large to fill the tank with the available rainfall conditions. The roofing should be any one of the following, that is galvanized iron sheets or aluminium, clay tiles, asbestos, and in case of thatched roof, it could be covered with the waterproof LDPE sheeting. Similarly, the storage tank shall be constructed underground or above the ground, and these parameters can be checked for compliance. The underground tank be constructed of RCC structurally suitable, lined with waterproofing material, and at least 30 centimeters of the tank should remain above the ground to prevent contaminated water entering the tank. The surface tank may be galvanized iron sheet, RCC, plastic or HDP or ferrocement tanks and should be placed at an elevation on a raised platform. The figure 3 of the standard gives the illustration. The tanks based on ferrocement technology may be used, and as per clause 6.1, the tank is to be provided with a manhole cover, vent pipes, etc. The cleaning and disinfection for withdrawal of water from underground tank, hand pumps to be provided. All these parameters can be checked for compliance. Some of the regulatory authorities are the Union Government has constituted the Central Groundwater Authority, CGWA, and Section 3.3 of Environmental Protection Act with the objective to regulate and control the development and management of groundwater, and they have a jurisdiction over the entire country. They direct the concerned states to take measures to adopt artificial discharge of groundwater, promote rainwater harvesting in all overexploited areas falling under their jurisdiction, to ensure inclusion of rooftop rainwater harvesting in the building bylaws. Steps taken by government to make rainwater harvesting mandatory. The Ministry of Water Resources has advised states and union territories to make provision for construction of rooftop rainwater harvesting structures in all the government buildings. The Central Groundwater Authority has directed under Section 5 of the Environment Protection Act the states having over-exhausted and critical blocks to take all necessary measures to promote, adopt artificial discharge to groundwater, rainwater harvesting, ensure inclusion of rooftop rainwater harvesting in building bylaws. The authorities have issued directives under Section 5, NCT Delhi, parts of Haryana and Uttar Pradesh to adopt rooftop rainwater harvesting systems. All group housing systems located in NCT Delhi in areas where groundwater levels are more than 8 meters and are abstracting groundwater have been directed by the Central Groundwater Authorities to adopt rainwater harvesting.